Hello everyone, I'm Love here, back again with another Awaken Chaos Era video. So in today's video, I'll be showcasing Rachel, who is a new legendary hero that was introduced in the game, and she currently is available in the limited summon. And at the point of this video recording, she have around about 3 more days that you can summon through this limited summon, or else you can also summon her through this advanced summon window using the advanced summoning crystal. However, it'll be slightly more difficult because you need to go over with the 1% here, as well as you need to have a chance to get Rachel out of all these legendary heroes. Right, so in this video, I'll be covering Rachel's skills, her recommended gears, as well as her stats, and then I'll showcase her in several areas in the game, such as like the No Man's Land dungeon, Arcane Dominator dungeon, and then Arena, Wrathful Heart, and so forth. Alright, so let's get started. So this is Rachel. She's currently seems to be meditating with her bright gleaming sword there. So that's basically her character animation, and this is her overall character design with a 360-degree look. Pretty cool. There's a cloak as well as a one bright sword. And then for her stats, she has an S rating for attack, A rating for critical rate, and B rating across the health, defense, and speed. So basically her stats is most likely a damage dealer. And checking through her abilities, starting with her trait, is known as the Divine Commandment. If the primary target has positive effects, launches a bonus attack with the special ability only once per round. This one can happen when she's performing a counter attack or regular attacks. And after ascending her, she will also gain a 10% bonus critical damage for each bonus attack performed, up to a maximum of 5 times or 5 stacks, which means 50% bonus critical damage. And as you can see in her ascension, she needs at least about 5 copies of her in order to unlock that specific effect. Moving on to her basic ability known as the Heavenly Smite, deals 130% damage to one enemy and applies defense down, which is quite useful in order to deal massive amount of damage to the enemy. However, this is only a single target. In order for her to apply defense down, she needs some focus stats. Ideally, she should have around about 60% focus for like Gift vs Environment, Arena, and so forth. But however, for Void Tower Heart, you might need higher focus stats, depending whether the Void Tower Heart have a particular relic that improves the enemy's resistance stats. And then moving on to her special ability known as the Sacred Sanction, that has a 3-turn skill cooldown, deals 150% damage to one enemy and removes 2 of the positive effects. If the target's a water hero, deals bonus damage based on their max health. So this skill is really useful. It has 2 usability. One is to strip away the enemy's positive effect, which is useful for the light tower as well as the water tower. And then it also deals massive amount of damage to the water boss. So if you use her in the Queen of Tides as well as the Wrathful Flood, then she'll make big run on those dungeons. And finally, for her ultimate ability known as the Holy Halo, it has a 4-turn skill cooldown, deals 200% damage to one enemy and grants Spike Restoration and Attack Up to all allies for 3 turns. And she also gains Spike Restoration and Attack Up version 2 for 3 turns on herself. So Spike Restoration allows your heroes to heal 50% of their max health upon taking any damage. However, if the person is taking multiple hit attacks, then you only recover once. Alright, so that's basically her skill kit. So she's basically a damage dealer, buff stripper, and a supporter healer. Let's go through the gears. So currently I'm gearing Rachel in an Assassin set and Raider set. Assassin set allows her to deal 50% more damage to the main target and allows her to boost it up to 35% more damage with a 50% chance. And Raider set is to boost up her speed. And if you were to quickly take a look on the hero guide here, they also recommended Warrior set and Curse set. Alright, so let's quickly go through the equipment stats here. So for the weapon, I have some critical rate, speed, focus, and precision. Precision is not useful for her unless you're using her in Arena. And this is the helmet with some focus, critical rate, and attack stats. Ideally, this flash stat attack should be critical damage. And then moving on to the chest plate, it has some attack, critical damage, focus, and health. And this is the attack boots with some defense, critical damage, critical rate, and focus. Ideally, this one should be speed to allow her to go before the enemies. This one should be it's a critical rate ring with some critical damage, attack, precision, and defense. Ideally, this one should be speed and more rolls on the critical damage and attack. And if you have mastery books on her, probably you should be changing this or swapping this critical rate ring with a critical damage ring or attack percent ring, because the mastery provides around about 23% critical rate. And finally, this is the attack necklace that has some speed, flashless attack, focus, and critical rate. Ideally, this flashless attack should be critical damage. Alright, so that's basically it for her gears and stats. Her glyphs and abilities are all maxed out, and her masteries, I've invested 2 legendary books on her, which randomly drop into the gear mastery as well as the ability mastery. Ideally, you want to get all of this ability unlocked so that she'll be able to deal more damage as well as for the gears. So you'll boost up the weapon hit and chest by 45%, and for the and 30% for the feet, neck, and hands. And for the physic, ideally you just need to have one roll on this physic mastery effect to unlock this critical damage. The rest are not so really important because these are just to improve her survivability by having more health and defense stats. Alright, so that's basically it for Rachel's gears, skills, and masteries. So let's showcase her in the dungeons. Alright, so for the first dungeon, I have the Dashmiel, the Light Tower. So let's check her out. To showcase Rachel's abilities, I'm pairing her with Natalia, Sarah, and William. Natalia is my primary damage dealer to wipe out the first wave, and Sarah is the support attack unit to apply the increased damage taken to the boss. William, on the other hand, is to provide additional support through the defense down and counter attack. And Rachel will be the primary person to strip away the boss positive effect. And for the spells, I'll be selecting Smoldering Flames so that it will does not trigger the Sundering Purgatory on the first wave. Alright, so at the start of the battle, William will apply the Smoldering Flames and deal damage to these mobs. And on the second wave, William will apply the counter attack buff to provide more buff to Natalia to deal more damage, followed by Rachel to provide the spike restoration, and then she strips away the positive effect from the boss. Then once the light boss attacks, then Sarah will be able to apply the increased damage taken if her focus is high enough. Rachel is quite useful in this Dashmiel Light Tower for speed farming this dungeon, because usually you need to have at least like 3 heroes like Eddie Chris, Clarence, Kane to strip away the positive effect, or you use a damage dealer like that's like Angelo to poison the boss. So this one is like a quick speed run on this Light Tower. So if you look here, it's around about 47 seconds. I run this Light Tower for 10 times, it's around about averaging to 50 seconds. Now I will showcase Rachel in the Wrathful Flood. Alright, so now we are on the Wrathful Flood stage 11 in the No Man's Land dungeon. And for this squad, I have Natalia, Jonathan, Rachel, and Opal. Natalia here is to clear the first wave. Jonathan is to apply the unhealable to the boss to prevent him from healing. Rachel is to showcase her abilities there. And Opal is for support damage. For the spells, I'll be selecting Smoldering Flames to skip the Sundering Purgatory on the first wave. Alright, so at the start of the battle, Natalia is speed tuned to go first to nuke down those frogments on the first wave. And on the second wave, she'll apply this Sundering Purgatory here and deal some massive damage with her ultimate ability. And then Jonathan will apply his unhealable to prevent the boss from healing. And Rachel will apply that spike restoration. So when the boss performs an AoE attack, her allies will be able to recuperate their health. And then, as you notice, that is Opal power. She's able to provide some support damage there. So Rachel will perform her finishing special attack there to finish off the boss. So that's basically it for Rachel Showcase. It took around about 41 seconds to clear the boss. And if you were to use like a traditional poison team, it should take around about 1 minute and 10 to 20 seconds. Alright, so let's move on to the next dungeon. Alright, so we are now on the Bane Wraith No Man's Land dungeon on stage 11. So let's showcase Rachel there. So for this team, I have Bane, Jacob, Mariah Shadowblood, and Rachel. And for the spells, I'll be using Sundering Purgatory and Gaia's Renewal. So Mariah Shadowblood is pretty fast, so she'll do some damage here, and then Bane will wipe out all these wolves. And then moving on to the second wave, where is the boss located. Mariah Shadowblood will do her thing, followed by Bane. So as you notice that the boss has a barrier that prevents him from taking a lot of damage. You need to break the barrier first before you're able to do damage to the boss. Okay, as you notice, when the boss performs her AoE attack, the spike restoration helps to recover that lost health. So it's really useful in order to sustain your hero's health longer. Alright, so the boss health is around about 50% health left. You'll need to break the second barrier. It has 24 hits, so you need to deal 24 hits on the boss to break the barrier before you can perform the finishing kill. So Rachel has applied the defense down, which helps immensely in allowing her allies to deal more damage to the boss here. So by round 5, Jacob's ability should be ready, and he'll be able to perform his ultimate on the boss here. So now the boss have around about 9 barriers left. So with the help of the joint attacks from Mariah Shadowblood, it helps to reduce the barrier even faster. And it's also worth noting that if you gear Jacob in a curse set, it will also help him to proc those bonus attacks as well. So there you have it. So it took around about 5 rounds. If the RNG is not that great, it will take around about 6 rounds there. So this one took around about 2 minutes, which is pretty slow. But this is to showcase Rachel in this team composition. If you want it to be faster, ideally you need to make all of your heroes strong and replace Rachel with Scarlet, because she's also able to deal massive amount of joint attacks to assist Jacob during his ultimate turn. Alright, so there you have it. Rachel being showcased in the Bane Wraith, Wrathful Flood, and Lot of Holy Light. I won't be showing Rachel in the Flame Lizard because Rachel is weak against fire and she will receive more damage from the enemy there. And apart from that, the enemies will be able to deflect her attacks. And for the Shadow Captive, this is mainly a damage race, so her Spike Restoration will not be able to help there that much, as well as her special ability is not great against other affinity except for the water enemies. Let's move on to the Arcane Dominator dungeon. So we are now on the Queen of Tides, Arcane Dominator, Hell Mode Stage 3, where I'll be showcasing Rachel there. Alright, so for this team, I have Florence, Natalia, Rachel, and William. And for the spells, I'll be using Sundering Purgatory for the AoE defense down and Last Breath to revive Florence. Alright, so let's see this team in action. Alright, so at the start of the battle, Florence will go first to apply the increased damage taken to all enemies, and as well as the AoE defense down, followed by Natalia to finish off the front line of the enemies. And with the help of the bonus attack from Florence, we'll be able to deal a second attack so that the big crab will be able to be eliminated. And on the second wave, both Florence and William will perform their thing. And then Natalia will finish off the 3 mini crabs. And then later Natalia will finish off the big crab with her ultimate ability here. Okay, moving on to the boss wave, the target priority is to select the boss. We will not need to care about the right type guard because with the help of Florence's trait, the splash damage will be able to defeat the right type guard, preventing him from applying the heal, a large significant heal on the boss. Alright, so as you notice, Rachel is speed tuned to go in between the boss and the right type guard there, so that she can strip away the positive effects from the boss, so that you will not be wasting your damage on dealing damage on the shield, but rather directly to the health. So with the immune up buff from Natalia, it prevents the water prison from stunning her. In order for the water boss to attack Natalia instead of Rachel, you need to have Natalia attack stats to be considerably higher than Rachel, because Rachel will have 50% attack up compared to Natalia's attack up, which is 30%. The Spike Restoration will help to prevent Florence from being defeated by the enemy attacks, to allow her trait to continuously work there. So yeah. Okay, we're almost there. Florence is down, so she'll be revived by Rachel there. Okay, increased damage taken is on the boss now. We'll be able to finish the big boss on the 8th round. Okay, the big boss is down. So there you have it. This is how to finish the boss using Rachel in this team. So this team took around about 2 minutes and 28 seconds. However, this one can be speed up if you are able to gear Rachel with a more powerful gear and also the mastery books. Alright, so we are now in the Roaring Tulpa Helmet Stage 3, so I'll be showcasing Rachel there. And in this team, I have Valeria, Garel, Florence, and Rachel. So I have Rachel here to apply the defense down and also help to provide some support through healing with the help of the Spike Restoration. And for the spells, I have the Using Guy's Renewal and Sundering Purgatory. Alright, so at the start of the battle, Florence will go ahead with the defense down and increase damage taken. And then Valeria will clear off the mini mobs in front, and as well as clearing off the big boulder there. And on the second wave, Florence have her ultimate all on cooldown, so she'll just use her basic attack. And then I have Garel here, my second damage dealer, to wipe out the enemies here. So it seems that Garel wasn't able to finish off the enemy there, so Rachel will be able to help out with that. So for this Roaring Tulpa, he has 3 bars of health, so you need to take down 3 times. So the boss have an unremovable defense up buff as well as the counter attack buff, which means that Rachel isn't able to steal those or strip away those buffs. However, she'll be able to still deal additional attacks with her special ability there, because that one are still treated as a buff, although it's a unique buff there. So you need to wait for Rachel's ultimate ability to be ready so that we can see how the spike restoration works against those AoE attacks. So as you notice, with Rachel's special ability and the bonus attack from Florence, she'll be able to deal additional 2 more attacks from each round. Alright, so the spike restoration is already activated, so whenever the enemy attacks, they will be able to recover 50% of their max health. However, it does not heal your heroes in case if they take the AoE true damage from the passive skill of the boss, like the one in the yellow number. Those damage cannot trigger the spike restoration. I'm not sure if it's a bug or not, but probably it's a bug because it should recover the hero's health whenever they take damage. Alright, so there you have it, Rachel in the Roaring Tulpa. Quite a good support hero there. So this one took around about 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Ideally, you should be using all 5 heroes in this Roaring Tulpa because they will have a significant advantage to deal more damage to the enemy who are weaker affinity to them. And so if you do not have many 5 heroes on your account, probably you can use Rachel as a placeholder to provide some additional healing, as you notice there, as well as she's capable of applying the defense down to the enemies. Alright, so let's check Rachel out in the arena. Alright, so we are now in Arena Platinum 5. So let's try out Rachel against this team. Here's another strong opponent. Holy Light Virgil is pretty annoying because he's able to remove the negative effect on himself whenever he receives attack. Something like Celestial Cane. Alright, so let's take down their Metasia here first. Oh, the Metasia is pretty weak. Okay, so now Holy Light Virgil has 2 buffs. One is the guard and one's the shield. So let's rip it out from Holy Light Virgil here. Oh, he healed himself. Wow, the bonus attack from Florence as well as a special ability makes a lot of difference. Alright, so this is the second arena team. It has Celestial Cane, Hackgreen, Bran, and Metasia. So let's see how Rachel performs against this tanky team, or tanky heroes. Yeah, I should apply the Sari Purgatory later a bit. Okay, let's try to nuke Hackgreen down with the special ability there. Not that strong. It's like half of his health. Okay, let's try to remove the attack down from my allies here. Let's finish off Metasia to prevent her from reviving her allies. Right, restoration is up. Okay, I think this is a bit too easy. Oh no, Celestial can put up that buff. And my strip ability is not ready yet. Oh, yeah, the special ability will proc, because in case if the enemy has 2 positive effects, you'll be able to proc again. It's really good against Celestial Cane. That's interesting. Oh, this guy have a lot of agility. Managed to deflect the Garrow attacks. Okay, that's the second arena team. Alright, so this is another different arena defense team that I have not seen before. It's like it has Sylvan. I can't remember her name. Is it Sylvan or what? Then Lightning Zachary, Tashiel, and Darcy. Right, so let's see. Maybe I should stun this hero first because she can perform AoE stun. Alright. Oh, the Lightning Zachary is pretty fast here. But they're not built with a high amount of damage there. Okay, defense down is applied. Let's nuke them down with Natalia. Oh, they don't have buff. Maybe her buff is already stripped away. Okay, no worries. Let's apply Spike Restoration. So each time they perform attack, we can heal. Alright, so let's strip away that damage buff. Summarize Rachel's performance in the arena. She's pretty useful with the help of the Spike Restoration, especially against the Lightning Sacri. Whenever you perform attacks on him, he will gain some bonus turn to attack your heroes. But with the Spike Restoration, it will be able to allow your heroes to recover 15% of their max health whenever they get hit by the enemy's attack. Alright, so we are now testing Rachel in the Void Tower. Currently I'm on floor 33, which is not that high, but this one will give you a feel on how Rachel performs here. So let's apply the defense down, increase damage taken. Currently the Void Tower enemies here will receive 50% less damage because there's a relic that prevents them from receiving 50% more damage. Okay, so I will boost up Natalia with the Rage Aura. And let's try out to wipe out these enemies here. Okay, so now Dark Nick applies that. Oh no. Do I have the Spike Restoration up on time? Right, so let's see if we can perform multiple attacks here. 1, 2. Oh, we can strip away that. That's interesting. We're able to strip away all of the Dark Nicholas invincible. That's interesting. I thought it's per hit, but I think maybe Rachel has a unique ability to strip away Dark Nicholas buff. Alright, so we are now on the mysterious Void Tower floor 40, where most people are having difficulties here because the Metasia usually heals as well as revive. Whenever the enemies have a buff on themselves with the Metasia present, they're able to heal themselves whenever they perform any abilities. That's one of the reasons why floor 40 is pretty scary here. Okay, let's lay down the defense down. Increase damage taken. And since there is 2 water affinity hero, right? So most probably I will just start off with that, and then oh yeah, we need to take down this guy because Joseph can strip away buff. Okay, let's push up. I think my heroes are too strong for this level. Need to go even higher. Alright, so to recap on Rachel's performance, we have tested her out in the No Man's Land dungeon, where she's pretty useful in stripping away the positive effect from the Light Tower boss, as well as dealing massive amount of damage to the Wrathful boss, and she's also capable of providing heal support to her allies in the Bane Wraith. And moving on to the Arcane Dominator dungeons, we have tested her out in the Queen of Tides, where she deals massive amount of damage to the water boss, and also for the Roaring Tulpa, although she does not do much damage because it's like a neutral affinity, however she's there to provide support healing through her Spike Restoration so that her allies will be able to recover some health to sustain longer in the battle, especially with all those AoE attacks from the enemies. And then for the arena as well as the Void Tower Heart, it's pretty useful in taking out a single enemy quickly by removing the positive effect, especially for the water affinity heroes, so that they won't be able to withstand your attacks. So I will create a separate video to cover Rachel performance in the cube versus environment. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you do give this video a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, do click the subscribe button and also ring the notification bell to stay up to date whenever I upload a new video to this channel. Also, you can visit my website at ayumilove.net to learn more about Awaken Chaos Era, and if you like to support my work, you can donate to me. I have a link in the video description below, or you can also become a monthly patron at my site at patreon.com/ayumilove. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye!